Welcome aboard, everyone. It's Navy Store, and we're playing World of Warships. Today, I'm playing in my Tier 7 Gneisenau German battleship. We've got a Tier 6 carrier on either side, a pair of Tier 8 battleships, the Premium Tirpitz and our sister ship. The Bismarck is on the red team. Each team has a Colorado and a New Mexico. We're heavy in battleships with the Fuso. However, the Red Fleet has got a extra Mitsuki Japanese destroyer. We only have one destroyer, they have two. Both sides have a couple of British ships. We each have a Perth British cruiser. We have a premium Belfast, though, on our side, in the hands of Propaganda Machine. We also have another premium ship, Indianapolis, going up against her sister ship, Cleveland, which is a normal Tier 6 cruiser on the other side. We also have a premium Atago Japanese cruiser going up against the York on their side. So we're heavier on premiums, but we only have one destroyer with that lone Mitsuki. As you can see, the group to the south is heading to A, and those of us to the north and east are heading to Charlie. Our carrier's sitting back. He already has his torpedo and bomber squadrons up. With that little volcano there in the middle of Bravo, no one really wants to get involved in that thing. The first gripe that I have about the Gneisenau is it only has 6 guns, 2 each in three turrets. And I'll tell you what, RNGesus can either love you or hate you when you're playing in the Gneisenau. The secondaries are really good when you have it built for secondaries with modifications and captain's points. And I did take my captain out of my Bayern that I'd been working on since Tier 4 and put him up into my Gneisenau. Red Fleet's coming, as you can tell from the mini-map. We already have incoming fire. They're concentrating on our scout cruisers, as well as Sea Potato, the New Mexico, who is alongside me. I've got my aft turrets lined up with that Cleveland. I'm shooting armor piercing, which is why they appear blue, and I'm just a little bit long. Colorado is opening up, and the enemy Colorado's fire goes over me and heads for our New Mexico, just as our Cleveland does. When I go to this cutback scene here in a second, you'll see that they're targeting our New Mexico, who doesn't appear to have any kind of camouflage or anything at all. So he has no bonus help coming from that. Now, our Perth is also going, or I'm sorry, our Belfast is also going after that Cleveland as well. And he's broadside to that Belfast. And that Belfast armor piercing, for any of those of you who play the game, know just how good they are. Enemy fire's really not that effective on the battleships, though. On our battleships. For some reason, RNGesus loves us. But that Cleveland, I get my shots out from my forward turret, and I get first blood. We would have had him either way with those torpedoes coming in at him. He was dead meat. But I got lucky, and with just over 1,300 damage dealt, I get the first kill. Now here's another mistake that you're going to see. Common mistake in World of Warships. People sailing in a straight line. This Bodioni made the mistake of sailing a straight line, and while Sea Potato gutted him, I put him up on the grill. Got my second kill, and I still have under 5,000 damage done. Between Sea Potato and Propaganda Machine in our Belfast, I was pretty much feeling like a third wheel for most of this game. But if I could do anything to draw the fire away from others, that's pretty much all that really mattered. That Bodioni got some torpedoes out, it looks like, or else we've got a enemy destroyer around here, but there's only 3 rounds each, so I'm thinking that came from the cruiser. I'm lining up, hoping I can take out one of his gun mounts. Get my guns out. Everyone right now is concentrating on the enemy Colorado. Our Belfast or our Perth's torpedoes miss him, but here comes our CV. He's got torpedoes out. 2 waves of torpedoes from his aircraft are about to hit, and I just dropped my portside torpedo tubes at him. So while I'm swinging around to bring my starboard tubes to bear and have my guns out, here comes my port side torpedoes. Boom, they connect, and I've got my 3rd kill in less than 5 minutes, and for just over 20,000 damage done. I'm actually a little shocked, but that's the problem with the Gneisenau. It's a great ship, and when he does connect, it's awesome. But RNG's is just a little bit crazy with this thing. Now that we're getting ready to cap A, we've got a Mogami behind me. Try to bring my guns to bear on him. Looks like he's going after our destroyer, but before I can get around, our destroyer finishes him off. We're capping C. We've got C capped. The Red Fleet is capping A. And Infidel and our Perth over there, as well as a couple of the other ships we got over there, are fighting like crazy trying to hold Alpha. So I tell everybody on our team to haul for Bravo. That's one of the hallmarks in World of Warships, that you know that even in a random battle you're going to have a good game when you can give out a command and everybody agrees with it and starts heading that way. A fair amount of communication in the chat, and fortunately this time we weren't all talking about politics or whatever else. I'm spotted momentarily, which tells me there's still a destroyer out there somewhere looking for us. And I had it there for a second. And Propaganda Machine sees him. There he is, skirting behind the island, getting ready to drop smoke, I'm sure, now that everyone and their cousin is targeting him. Our CV's dropping bombs on him. Our Perth is going after him again. And he's coming right up behind, or right up in front of the island. If he'd gone behind the island, he'd have had a much better chance. I think he just got too aggressive. But he decided to smoke up. And now he's outrunning a smoke. So here's where I make a big mistake. Hoping to get some torpedoes into the water if I can't hit him with my main guns. Propaganda Machine hits him, and I promptly run into Propaganda Machine. Fortunately, those only minor damage. God knows, in real life, I probably would have taken his bow clean off and sent him to the bottom. I'm going to speed through this part here because I'm getting overextended. I've gotten out ahead of the rest of the ships on our side. And what I really need to do is reposition myself a little bit better. You don't want to be the lead dog in the pack when it comes to World of Warships. While it's nice to have a view of open ocean, it's not fun when everyone and their cousin decides that they're going to concentrate their fire on you. So as I quickly turn around using this island for cover, I get shots out when and where I can at the enemy battleships and try to make sure I angle my armor as best as I can. Seeing that New Mexico out there with the torpedoes heading for it. But here comes our New Mexico, Sea Potato, so I need to make sure I avoid him. And this is going to force me to cut around the island. So as you can see from that little edit I did right there, I have now cut around the island. And I just got spotted, as I've spotted a Bismarck and a low health Fuso. Now the Bismarck, I have to admit, I drove nothing but American ships for the first year or so I played this game. I didn't even want to think about having a Japanese or a German or Russian ship. And then I discovered I'd gotten all these ARP ships that I'd earned in missions. I didn't even realize because I'd never used the Yokosuka home port. I always use the New York home port. Or when I had premium, I used the Pearl Harbor home port. So I discover all these ARP ships and discover how much fun the ARP Congo really is. So I've been playing other country ships, and I have to tell you, I love my Bismarck, I love the secondaries, but boy does she like to have a barbecue. You get her on fire, and you're out there in front of everybody else, it just keeps burning and burning and burning. Which is what's going on with this poor guy. Everybody and their cousin is targeting the Bismarck. With those 10-kilometer secondaries, you want to make sure that you get any Bismarck you see first. Fuso, which is low health already, is hiding back behind, and now that the Bismarck is gone, everybody's concentrating on him. And all of a sudden there pops up the second enemy destroyer. He's within secondary range of me. My secondary guns are lighting him up. I've got my aft guns loaded with armor piercing, and I managed to connect with one round. Not enough to kill him, but my forward guns are now reloaded, and boom, I take out the Fuso for my 4th kill. And all of a sudden there pops up the Mitsuki again. He's such low health, I'm hoping my secondaries can take him out. He's trying to back off because he's run aground on the hulk of the Fuso. Everybody and their cousins opened up on him. We lost him there for a second. Of course, my fighter plane just landed because I timed out. But our Perth infidel ends up getting him. So taking stock of the situation, I realize I really need a Kraken. It has been so long since I've had a Kraken. It's like a Kit Kat bar. You just need one. So since I got 4 kills so far with only 31,000 damage done, I decide to head for the final cap since I'm still pretty much full health and go after that York over there. At least that was the plan. They are down to the carrier and 2 cruisers. We still have our carrier, 2 battleships, and 2 cruisers. And we're up in points with under 5 minutes left in this game. So we've got plenty of time to do this. All that's left is the enemy York and Perth. But I'm thinking I'm going to go after the CV.
Unser Sieg ist in Sicht.
He's got to be around there somewhere. If anything, the Perth is, or the CV is probably between the York and Perth, heading up towards H1 if he has any sense. He's way underway. Then I get bombed, get a couple fires lit, and think he's not out there. His planes are going back this way. I'm going to turn and go this way, follow his planes back to the carrier as fast as I can. As I shoot down a couple more of his aircraft. I've got my damage control party fixing the damage.
Problem gelöst.
And I am underway all ahead flank 3. Heading for the carrier. Now, when I said I need a Kraken, Infidel was nice enough to say that he'd let me get 1 more kill. I think it was referring to the York. That's when I called back and said I'd go ahead and get the CV. And our carrier, propaganda machine, piped in, yeah, you should go for the CV, and showed me where it was. Actually, I thanked him. That's one thing in chat is if you apologize for when you screw up and just give a thank you for when people help you out, that goes a long way in this game. And there he is. There's the Independence. I've got my 4 guns loaded with HE. I'm going to switch back to AP after I get these rounds out. Hoping to hit them and set them on fire, but with carriers on lower tiers, it's always good to use HE, high explosive. Sets lots of nice fires, but armor piercing on a bigger carrier, always the best way to go, because if you aim it right, you hit the machinery spaces or the magazine, you could do a lot more damage, which you'll see here in a bit. Sea Potato's still behind me. My rounds were or his rounds were a little long. My rounds here coming out will be a little short. As you can tell from this reverse angle, I've got my fighter up. He sees us. He's trying to get back in the cap, trying to stop us from capping. I decide, well, if he's going to head back into the cap, I'm going to put some torps out at him. We capture the cap point. He gets back into it a little late. Not sure if he's out of aircraft or not. My secondaries are opening up. And I get the final kill. So there we go. There is no Iron Team, but there is a me. And I did get the Kraken. So I want to thank Sea Potato, Propaganda Machine, Panzer Commander, and Infidel, who were all on our team, who really helped. I got 52,000 damage and 5 kills with the Kraken. Still came in second behind Propaganda Machine. But overall, pretty good game. You can see everything that I shot at, I tend to take a little bit out of, and with a little bit of damage to our own guy. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.